York for his thoughtful contribution. We're very pleased to be joined, Mr. Speaker, by my good friend from Minnesota with whom I've been privileged to travel and has a great understanding and grasp of the issue of globalization and how opening up new markets around the world will benefit his constituents. I'm happy to yield to my friend.
Well, I thank the Chairman for yielding, and let me just first say, with the bipartisan support of this important issue, which I will concur in comments from Mr. Meeks, but I want to thank Mr. Dreyer, the Chairman, because I think we're having these types of discussions on the floor today thanks to his many years of leadership to educate all of us in the House on a bipartisan basis about the benefits of trade, about selling American, and his leadership in establishing this free trade caucus has been so valuable to me as a newer member, and I know that our country is in great gratitude, and we're going to miss your leadership down the road, Mr. Chairman, in the future. Let me just say that I also want to rise in strong support for passing this permanent normal trade relations status with Russia. We must pass this legislation to give American manufacturers, American farmers, and American service providers a fair chance to compete and then win and sell more of their goods in the markets of Russia. Russia joined the WTO already. They already joined the World Trade Organization back on August 22nd. They've already begun to open their markets to the rest of the world. So now there are about 150 countries, except the United States, that can fully benefit from much better access to the Russian marketplace. Additionally, all of these nations, except the United States, can benefit from Russia's WTO entrance commitments, including stronger international property protections, greater transparency, recourse in the WTO's dispute settlement procedures if Russia fails to meet its commitments, and until Congress approves PNTR, the United States cannot claim all of the benefits that come along with Russia's entrance into the WTO membership obligations. So the President's Export Council, we've already heard some great statistics tonight that are real. They're real, Mr. Speaker. They estimate that U.S. exports to Russia will double, they'll triple over the next 5 years if we pass PNTR, adding jobs here in the United States. These are jobs in manufacturing, these are service jobs, these are jobs in high tech, and all across the spectrum of other industries. And there's no doubt that Russia's demand for foreign services and goods is growing. This is a country with a population of 142 million people. It's got a rapidly growing middle class. Medtronic, I will speak in particular about a company from Minnesota, medical device manufacturer. It's based in Minnesota, my home state. It's one of the companies that will lose out if we don't pass permanent normal trade relations soon. And Russia, as I mentioned, is one of the fastest growing markets. It's also a fast growing market for medical devices and medical technology. It's a key player in the Russian medical device market. In fact, since 2005, there have been 10,000 Russian healthcare professionals that have been trained in Medtronic technologies. And in the last 5 years, these Medtronic technologies and therapies have benefited about 70,000 patients across Russia. So Russia has now agreed to substantial tariff reductions for imported medical devices. Russian tariffs on these products will average about 5%. It's going to give U.S. medical technology companies the opportunity to significantly expand into the Russian market. And meanwhile, Russia PNTR does not require any tariff reductions or market liberalization by the United States. But all this will go away, Mr. Speaker. All this will be at risk if we do not act in passing PNTR with Russia in the near future here. So, Mr. Speaker, I would just say that approval of Russia PNTR is a critical step towards ensuring that U.S. companies can benefit from Russia's WTO ascension and remain competitive in the markets today. And until we do that, all other WTO countries will continue to grab market share that is much more difficult to grab back in today's global competitive environment. And so when I think of a competitor and a company like a Medtronic that's based in Minnesota, we want to make sure that their workers and their ingenuity and their innovation is going to continue to grow and prosper, and we can sell American across the world. So in other words, Mr. Speaker, U.S. companies are being left behind as our competitors continue to grow in this very profitable market of medical devices, losing ground we may never be able to make up. So with other countries gaining this head start now in the Russian market, our time is running out. So this PNTR, it really benefits the United States, and I hope that we act next week, Mr. Speaker, Mr. Chairman, before we head back before the election season, because this is critical for jobs. It's bipartisan. The President can claim great ownership and credit for this as well if we act soon. And I will do all I can to continue to work with you, Mr. Chairman, to move this forward as well.
If I could reclaim my time, and I thank my friend for his very strong commitment to this. And I'd like to expand on this Medtronic example, if I could, for just a moment, because, you know, we talk about big pictures, we talk about numbers, we say, yes, we want to create jobs, but the example of Medtronic is very clearly a specific opportunity. And I wonder if my friend has any examples, if he's talked to executives at Medtronic about the benefits of opening up that market in Russia, because it's true. I mean, you know, we are horrified at the crony capitalism that exists in Russia. We're horrified at the human rights violations that exist. But there are also many very, very good, dedicated, hardworking Russian people who would like to have an opportunity to have access to many of the products that are made right here in the United States. I know my friend and I have traveled around the globe, and one of the things that consistently comes forward is people saying, we want to be able to purchase goods from the United States of America, goods manufactured in the United States of America. And I wondered if my friend might tell us a little about the success of Medtronic and what has happened and exactly what benefit we would see created for jobs here and also for the consumers in Russia. I'm happy to yield to my friend further.
And thank you for yielding back. I will just say that whether it's a company like a Medtronic or an agricultural-based company like a Cargill, which is based in my district in Minnesota as well, clearly there is the opportunity to sell American, knowing that 95% of the world's consumers are outside of the United States, and this opportunity in Russia with huge market share is going to mean more medical devices being sold in Russia. These are life-improving, these are life-saving technologies that there is no doubt in a competitive environment European companies are trying to access that market, are moving forward to do that, and a world-class leader like a Medtronic is going to be stepping into is going to have a vacuum, and unless it's able to move forward, unless Congress acts to give permanent normal trade relations.
Well, reclaiming my time, my friend is absolutely right, and I just want to again express appreciation to his commitment to our trade working group, which has on a wide range of issues been able to focus on creating jobs for millions of Americans as we've sought to recognize the benefits of exports and imports as well when it comes to improving the standard of living and quality of life for our fellow Americans. And he's been very dedicated to his constituents, and I appreciate your participation this evening, too. I'm also very